Welcome back on this channel. We're going to look at something very exciting today. We're going to look at the science of the mind. And we're going to look at why the law of assumption is working the way it's working. But also we're going to look at what you can do in order to truly master your mind, your life, and create and achieve and manifest the thing that you want in your life, but simply understanding the mechanism of the mind and the law of assumption. So let's go. Before you start, thank you for watching this video. If you're new on this channel, take the time to like, share, and subscribe this video. It helps me grow this channel. This is a place where I help you master your mind so that you can master your life and create your own reality. So let's go back to the video, guys. So here's the thing. The mechanism of the mind is so simple. It's so simple, but it's so critical for you to understand how your mind works so that you can actually apply some of the laws, some of the teachings that are out there in terms of creating, manifesting, bettering your life, and really creating the life that you want. So let's go over the basic 101 science of the mind and how this applies to the law of assumption. Here's the thing. This is you, okay? I'm not the best at drawing, but this is a very simple picture of a person. Now, this is the external world, things that are around you. Right now, the external world is you watching this video. So you're receiving all the time information, right, from the external world through your five senses. Right now, you can see me on YouTube, you can see your computer, you can hear my voice, you can maybe feel your coffee, you can feel your chair, you can smell anything around you. So you can experience the world around you through your five senses, okay? At all the time, we are receiving information from the world. So this is the very basic of the mind. We are communicating with our environment and we are constantly receiving information, yeah? And so here's the thing, we are receiving constantly tremendous amount of information, too much information for us to consciously process, okay? Think about everything that's going on around you right now. The weight of your clothes on your body being, digesting the food, beating your heart, moving all that blood around and listening to me and all these kind of things happening at the same time all around you is overwhelming. So what's happening is that those information that comes from the outside world are being filtered, right? We have here filters inside our mind, to be honest, inside our subconscious mind. And this is so important and so relevant, and you have to pay very close attention here because those filters are made from your self-image, your beliefs, your past experiences, and all these kind of things that created the paradigm and your state of consciousness right now. All those things that you know, all those beliefs, ideas, values, memories that you have, it's basically all that past conditioning up to today that you received in your life has created this self-image, this mindset that you have right here, right now. And this subconscious mindset is what is filtering all the gigantic amount of information that's coming from outside. And what's happening then is that those filters are creating then what we call the self-talk or the mental picture in our mind, right? So here's the thing that happened. External event, you're watching this video, you're crossing the road, you're doing something, so you have information coming. You filter that information, and in a moment, you create a thought about it. You create a meaning, you create a label, you create an interpretation of that external event in your mind. That's the thing, and it happens all the time, constantly, automatically. Here's the first thing to consider. You see the world not as it is, but as you are. Because we all know that 2% or 100% can go through the same external event and they're going to have a completely different experience, completely different meaning, completely different feeling, completely different opinion about that same exact event. So why is that? The main reason is because of the filters. We all have a very unique set of filters based on where you grew up, how you see yourself, your own self-image, self-concept, the beliefs that you have about yourself, about the world, about money, about love, about women, about men, all those things that you have. are unique to yours. So if you grew up somewhere in America, or if you grew up somewhere in Afghanistan, or if you grew up somewhere in Australia, your cultural beliefs are also going to be very different and also going to affect you the way you live your life and the way you show up in the world and the way you think, feel, behave, and create your own reality. So that's the very first thing I wanted to understand, because you could say that all those beliefs started as an assumption. Yeah? And this is where the law of assumption is kicking in all of this. At some point in your life, from your external world, you received certain form of assumptions. It might be our past experiences, it might be your parents when they talk to you, it might be you reading a certain book, watching a video, going to a training, a course, a seminar, whatever it is. You receive certain form of information, an assumption, beliefs, data, and you processed it to create then self-talk, to create a thought, to create a new mental picture, to start to create a new set of neurons in your brain. And if you get immersed in that belief, if you get immersed in that thought, if you get immersed in that information, in that assumption, at some point it becomes a belief. And then it becomes part of your filters. So let me give you an example, okay? Let's say you go through life up to a certain point where you pick up one of Neville Goddard's book, or you go watch a video, or you go to a training, a course, something that opens your mind about the law of assumption. So you receive all those assumptions, all that data, all that information, all that new knowledge. And it kind of opens up your mind. Consciously, you hold on to that idea in your mind. And you start to study it, and you start to know it, and you start to ponder it, you start maybe to even use it. And after a certain amount of time, it becomes a belief. Now the way you think about the world, now the way you think about things, now the way you think about yourself has completely changed. So what it does then, that it's affecting your emotional state. Because here's the thing. If we go back to the beginning, you receive information from the external world. That information is filtered by your subconscious mind beliefs. That then creates the thought and mental pictures that you have in your mind. And based on how you think, it creates a feeling. Fear, anger, happiness, joy, calm, courage. And based on that feeling, it's going to lead to a certain behavior or a certain decision, which will then lead to the result that you get to your life. Isn't that interesting? So how does that really work? If we put it in terms of a simple example, a real life example, how does this apply to you and the law of assumption and you taking conscious command of your life? Well, here's the thing. For an unconscious person, meaning a person who's not aware of this, a person who's not aware of how their mind works, a person who's not aware that they can create their own reality, that they can change their belief, that they can change the way they think and feel and act and their result. Let's say that a situation is happening in the world and that person here, in his self-image, in his mindset, in his subconscious mind, has a belief that I'm a loser, I'm never gonna make it. Yeah, no matter what I do, it's never gonna work. Let's say they have this apathetic victim belief. So, see, here's happening something in the external world. Maybe they're struggling with money. Maybe they see they need money to pay the bill. Maybe they need to get a new job. Maybe they want to get promoted. Maybe they want something here so bad. But that information gets to them and they start to filter it based on their limited subconscious belief. This limitation then is creating a mental picture, a mental thought that is equivalent to the belief, not to the external event, but to their own filters, which then create the same old feeling of, oh my God, I'm never gonna make it. And then that leads to the decision or the behavior. Why try? Why bother? Why do something else? So they're gonna continue to do those toxic behaviors. They're gonna continue to be a victim, blame others, be at this state, do all these kind of things, which ultimately leads to the same result, which only then reinforce the belief system. So a lot of people are living in this unconscious loop where life is happening to them. And so they think that the way life is has nothing to do with them. They just think that who I am and what I see outside of me is separate. It's not my thought that creates my life. It's life that created my thoughts, my belief, and I am justified in so. But once you start to understand the law of assumption and how this works, it's extremely empowering, because now you understand that if you want a different result here, you want more money, you want to get that loving relationship, you want to start your own business, grow your business, be a better salesman, get a promotion, go on holiday, whatever. You want a better result, a better life, you want to become the best version of yourself here. You know that it's not here that needs to change. You know that for you to change that external world, you're going to need to start going around here. So your focus is not on how do I change the external world, the focus becomes on how do I change the assumption I made about the world and my current result that brought me exactly where I am today. So there is this self-inquiry, self-awareness that goes on that allows us to look into our beliefs, into our self-image, into those past experiences that have conditioned us to create the same result, to react the same way to the external world. But now you understand that your history is not your destiny. Those assumptions that you've created in your mind that drives your life now can be unmade, can be broken, can be revised. And something new can be added in your filter. Instead of seeing yourself as being, I'm a loser, I'm never gonna make it. Now you can start to see yourself as a resourceful person, as a successful person, as somebody who has talents, gifts, and ability to create anything he or she wants. You can start to see yourself no longer as a victim, but as a powerful, conscious creator. You can start to relate to yourself here differently. You can start to relate to money, to people, to the world, to God, to anything else differently. Because you understand that when you change those beliefs, when you let go of those past experiences, traumas, limiting beliefs and thoughts that you had, the way you're going to respond to the world, the way you're going to start thinking and feeling is going to change. Because once you start living by new assumptions here, for example, instead of thinking there's no opportunity out there, it's so hard to make money, it's so hard to manifest anything, it's so hard for me to live my life. And instead, you start to rewire your mind with the law of assumption. You start to tell yourself, you start to see yourself, and you start to embody that I create my own opportunities. I generate money because of who I am. I am a powerful creator. So you start to live by this new belief, by that new identity, and all of a sudden, you start to see things differently here. But you can also be differently in control here of how you think, of the mental pictures that you create in your mind. Now you see yourself thriving, you see yourself with money. And all of a sudden you start to feel different. Your state, right? David Goddard talks a lot about the state of the wishful feel. All of a sudden you start to feel more grateful. You start to feel more confident. You start to feel more powerful, more relaxed, more at ease, more empowered. And so naturally you feel like doing different things. You feel like maybe being more positive, more forgiving. You start making better decisions. You start to feel inspired to do certain things based on how you think and how you feel, based on the new filters that you have, based on that new self-image that you created. You're no longer behaving in the same old way. Now you are showing up in a different way. And so obviously after a certain period of time, your results start to be different. And now those results reinforce the new belief, the new self-image. And it kind of gives you that confidence boost. That's why experience is the best teacher. So you can see why the law of assumption works when we break down the mechanism of the mind. It is extremely simple. But the task here, if you really want to create any result that you want, it's not about blaming the external world, people, time, money, the government, this and that. It's about going here. Where in my filters, where in my belief, where in my projection, where is it that I'm misaligned with what I want? Because the moment you can start to think differently and you can start to create new beliefs, You're going to start thinking and feeling differently. You're going to start behaving differently. But your energy, your magnetism, how you feel, your energy field is also going to change. Right? That's what they talk in the law of assumption about you raising your energy, changing your life. You see, your thoughts, your feelings are extremely magnetic. So when you have a different thought and a different feeling, you create a different electromagnetic field around you. So now you start to attract different things. You start to resonate with different things. You start to harmonize different things in your life. And this is what ultimately changed your life. This is what ultimately creates new results. This is what ultimately changed things for you. Not because life has changed, but because you have changed. Because your inner world has changed. And so life now is start to become a match to that loop. And now you start to see synchronicity. And now you start to see people. And now you start to see money coming in. And now you start to see new things coming in, which naturally reinforce a new mindset. And the growth is never ending and is constant. And the new cycle is created. So this is in a nutshell how you can use the law of assumption and how the law of assumption works. If you truly understand the simple mechanism of your mind, how you interpret information and how you have the free will to choose what you can think about, to choose how you can feel, and to create and change and clear out those filters that have been creating the same old thought, the same old feeling, the same old behaviors and decisions, and the same old results, and start anew. So I hope this video was helpful for you to understand a little bit more about the law of assumption. Let me know what you think down in the comment below. I'm very excited to find out your opinion about this. If you have any question, write them down below. As always, take some time to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of those. I will see you in my next video. Be well.